Hi, welcome to Wealth, Wellness, and Longevity. I'm Michael Christensen. Thank you for watching. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the number one cause of aging and disease, which is oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress? Well, it is a condition that occurs when there's an imbalance between the production of reactive oxygen species. Those are nasty little molecules that go around and toxify your body, and your body's ability to neutralize these reactive oxygen species with your own production of antioxidants, and in some cases, external antioxidants that you have consumed. But what you don't know is that your body is capable of producing the equivalent antioxidant amount of 11 pounds worth of blueberries every single day, if you give your body the ability to do that. Could you imagine what it would be like if your body did that every day? You would be a lot healthier and live a lot longer, probably. No guarantees. Only God knows that. So let's talk about the number one health promoting discovery, most likely in the foreseeable future of health science, as stated by Washington State University in 2015. That would be Protandim NRF2. So what is Protandim NRF2? Well, back in about, I think, 2003, a 4 Nobel Prize nominated laboratory scientist doctor named Dr. Joe McCord came up with the most powerful longevity promoting discovery I have ever seen. And that's why we're here, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. So he was presented with a list of 41 natural phytochemicals, also known as plant-based compounds or chemicals, and he kept 5 out of the 41, tested each one. They didn't really do much on their own, but as a good scientist would do, they eventually combined all 5 into one powerful extract compound and fed it to humans. And every single human's oxidative stress reduced by 40% in 30 days, and in many cases, their oxidative stress dropped 70% in, say, 90 to 120 days. Because the longer you take it, your body can hold on to some of that and just begin healing and wiping out all of those reactive oxygen species that it can. In fact, Dr. McCord tested about 55 people ranging between 23 years of age and 80 years of age, and after a few weeks, every single one of them had the oxidative stress of a 1-year-old child, maybe even a newborn child. In his words, quote, "We could not tell the difference between the 23-year-old and the 80-year-old. They all looked much younger than they were, in fact, more likely a newborn child." And that's the way I'm going to say it, or paraphrase it. So on the surface, you still look 80, but your oxidative stress or toxic molecules floating around in your body causing problems reduced by years, if not decades. So what is Protandim NRF2? Well, he decided to keep turmeric, green tea, bacopa, milk thistle, and ashwagandha as the 5 out of the 41. You didn't know what to expect, and yes, fed them to humans, fed them to mice, we feed them to horses and dogs, and it is the most powerful thing for mammals on the planet Earth that we know of for reducing that oxidative stress and promoting longevity, and helping to hold off or maybe even avoid some of the nastiest diseases in history. In fact, of the U.S. patents that we have filed for Protandim NRF2, there are dozens of the nastiest diseases on that list that Protandim NRF2 targets. Cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, leukemia, Crohn's disease, you name it. It's on there. I can even show you the patent if you want to see it. So that is Protandim NRF2 and why it is important. In fact, the National Institute of Health believes that it could probably add as much as 7% to the average human life. And if you figure that the average human life is 80 years of age, well, that's about a 5-year life extension, possibly. They did test it on mice, and that's how they came up with that number. But mice are mammals too, and are pretty well tuned into determining human responses. So let's talk about the other two things, and that is mitochondria. For those of you who do not know, mitochondria are these little tiny power plants that live inside pretty much every single cell in our body except the red blood cells, and they produce 95% of the energy that your body uses every second of every day. As you get older, the mitochondria begin to die, or they become dormant. They fall asleep due to toxification by these nasty reactive oxygen species. And what happens is, as you reach and exceed middle age, your mitochondria become dysfunctional, also known as mitochondria dysfunction. That's a very common phrase. And that causes less energy in your body because mitochondria produce 95% of your energy. And so if you have less mitochondria, you have less energy, which opens the door for many diseases, especially cancer. Cancer is caused by mitochondria dysfunction. If you don't have any mitochondria in your cells, or you have damaged or dying mitochondria, the cell goes into survival mode and becomes a sugar fermenting maniac. And that is how a cancer cell is born, mitochondria dysfunction. So Dr. Joe McCord's company found a way to promote the increase or mitochondria neogenesis, meaning the birth of new mitochondria within the cells, by combining several different plant compounds or phytochemicals, feeding it to humans. And what did they find? Well, they found that mitochondria responded by multiplying in the cells. So as a result, protandem NRF1 was born. If I didn't tell you what the first one was, that's protandem NRF2. So the last protandem is protandem NAD. Well, some of you may know that everybody's running around getting injected with IVs of NAD because of its longevity, promoting energy, promoting fat burning, promoting characteristics. Many people are paying $300 to $600 a month for NAD IV injections. Well, Dr. McCord and his company found a way of pretty much doubling your NAD, NAD+, NADH, and your sirtuin levels in 24 hours using plant-based compounds, which I'm not going to get into because I am recording this video, but you get the point. Plants can do it all. Plants can heal our bodies. Plants can repair our DNA. They can restore the functions of our mitochondria and boost those quantity of mitochondria. And all of those things are incredibly important for holding off diseases, maybe even reversing certain diseases, and promoting longevity. So if you want to have the healthiest, longest life possible, please let me know, and we can talk about this further, because the amount of improvement in the human body is hardly even, well, it's hard to describe, but because it is so significant. But what I wanted to say is that you're looking at a 300% increase in glutathione, which is the number one antioxidant in the body pretty much. And you're looking at about a 30% increase in superoxide dismutase, which is a free radical neutralizer. And you're looking at about a 54% increase in catalase, which is a hydrogen peroxide neutralizer in the body. But here's the icing on the cake before I go. Dr. McCord's company, many years later, came up with a collagen activator Yes, it does have collagen in it. It has 10 different peptides, but that is not the icing on the cake. What the exciting part is that they found that by using a plant compound extracted from ruby quinoa extract, that they were able to increase collagen density by about 42%. They were able to reduce like crow's feet on people's faces by about 20%. But the real powerhouse is on the inside, because the collagen activator restores about 400 to 500 genes in your DNA to produce your own bioidentical collagen like you were decades younger. Many of you don't know, but after age 30, you lose about 1% of your collagen every single year, and it never stops unless you know how to stop it. And to stop it, you have to consume ruby quinoa extract, which lights up those genes in your genome, your DNA, and you begin to produce your own collagen, because after 30, your body forgets how. Now, on top of the massive collagen factory restoration that you get, that particular collagen activator restores or increases your superoxide dismutase by 2,700% or 27 times. And imagine if you increase that free radical neutralizer by 2,700%, how much healthier your body is. And on top of that, it increases your catalase by 200%, all while restoring the health of your skin, your intestines, your knees, hips, joints, wrists. Your eyeballs are 90% collagen, and so on. So those four things, Protandim NRF2, Protandim NRF1, Protandim NAD, and collagen. What is the collagen called? I'm drawing a blank. Sorry, shame on me. But I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just call it Protandim collagen for now, because I just don't remember. But here's the cool thing. If you have a dog, they have Pet Tandem for dogs. Same thing as the one for humans, just a different dosage. We give it to our 12-year-old dog, and she is a playing machine. She chases her tail like every morning. Not because she's crazy. I think it's just because she has too much energy, which is amazing. She was falling on her face just 6 months ago from lack of energy. And then they also gave this Protandim to the Kentucky Derby winning racehorse in 2024, which is also pretty neat. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. And if you want to reach me, you can reach out to wealthandwellness.info, or you can give me a call at 208-786-0151. All right. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.